How similar what you saw tonight's style of play is to what you expect to see, not just down the stretch, but in the playoffs should you qualify?
I think the two teams tonight play a very similar type of game where you just snuff a lot of plays out. I'm not sure it's going to be like that all the way through the playoffs. I think the tight checking and the tenacity will be there, but I think it'll be a sharper game from both teams, home and away, than what we saw tonight. But a couple of things you got to give them credit. They checked really hard. I thought we checked really hard. Probably wasn't an overly entertaining game. There were a lot of plays being made, connected passes, whistles, just in the mud, if you will, is probably the best way to describe it.
When you have those two styles of play and you have maybe ice conditions that are preventing connectivity and handling of the puck, do you have to simplify your game at all to kind of accommodate for those things?
Well, you do, but it's I guess when it comes to the ice, all 20 players have to participate in the same sheet of ice, so it didn't favor one team or the other. But it does. These guys are pretty talented people on both teams, and you carry around a frustration because you can't connect one pass to the other because the surface you're playing on is as bad as it was tonight. It was up from both teams.
Third power play was probably the best one there at the end. But are you seeing just lack of execution or just a lack of personnel play into?
Not necessarily lack of personnel. You lose people, you should be able to keep it going. And our power play fell off a little bit about 5 or 6 games ago when Kevin and Durs were still in the lineup. So it is a lack of execution. It's a little bit slow right now, a little more predictable. Perhaps looking for something that's pretty or perfect versus slugging it out, especially again tonight in these conditions. But at the end of the night, we lost the special team battle, penalty kill, power play, and the shootout. So we're fortunate to get a point.
Is that an automatic call when Tempe takes his helmet off the player? That roughing call?
Yes. Yeah.
So they have to call it.
They have to call it. Yeah.
So the fourth line was noticeable in a few ways tonight.
Yeah.
I'm wondering what you thought of how those ingredients kind of came together.
I thought they played fairly direct. They understood what they were playing on, and they played with some pace. So they had some really good offensive zone shifts, and then they came back and frustrated the other team by catching them from behind and killing plays up. So they did their job tonight.
How did you like Phoenix's night, and also just how he's responded in this alternating situation with Jonas?
I think he has done an excellent job with alternating back and forth. I think both of them have done that. You look at the goals against that we've given up, we're 2-2-2-1 tonight. You consider the role the goaltenders play in that, they've both been excellent. And I thought again tonight that Phoenix was really good.
Toby, you've won 5 straight and you've played so well in those games. Did it feel like a game where tonight where maybe the execution and the polish aren't quite there is bound to happen eventually?
If I said yes, I'd be letting everybody off the hook, including the coaching staff, but it does happen. This reminded me a lot of the game against Montreal about a week or 10 days ago. We had an emotional win on the road, came back, played in an unemotional type game, and just weren't real connected. And you do have those over 82 games. The good news is we found a way to get a point, and we'll take that at this time of the year.
You watching the scoreboard at this time? The other team out of town score?
We look all the time, yeah. But I said this morning, I believe it was, that you do a lot more scoreboard watching and cheering for other teams when you don't control your own destiny. And when you're in control of what is in front of you, you don't have to watch. You just make sure that you do your job as well as you can, and good things will happen. So right now, that's the situation we're in.
Do you anticipate this going down to the last week for the division?
The playoffs or
for the division for the Pacific. It's that close.
I would think it would all over the league. I don't know what the other divisions are like. I know in the West, it could be any one of 5 teams that end up in in the 1 hole, 2, 3, in each of the divisions, and then the conference, who knows, but I'm not sure it really matters, other than being 1 of 8, and then see what happens after that.
If ultimately your goalie continues to play out well, would you consider a tandem during the playoffs? We haven't seen that in probably 20 years.
Well, we have to make the playoffs first, and I know I keep saying that. And then secondly, we'll decide on a game-by-game basis. We need 2 goaltenders. You rarely get through running 1, regardless of what happens, injury, fatigue, score, momentum. So you do need 2, and if we're lucky enough to get to that playoff situation, we believe we'll have 2.
Talked a lot this year about goals by defensemen. Mikey's got a couple here over the last few games. You see more comfort in his game with joining the rush offensively and contributing when he does get to those spots?
Yeah, I think his shot has improved a lot. He's worked hard on it, and it's more accurate, got a little more velocity on it. He's more confident in using it. We saw that tonight. More than once tonight, he tried to wire a few in there, and you have to give him credit for working on something that he needed to, and it's showing up in his game. Good.